and come back in for a moment. Um, what I was doing was some issues with Streamlab. Not sure why they freeze up, but I'm gonna, I don't know, send them something, a word or two about how they, you know, their stream, their app sucks. I mean, completely sucks. But anyway, I'm gonna get back into the stream. We were watching, the show Hardly Initiated in the last stream. If you guys were watching, for some reason they just time out. They be playing me a lot, and it really be kind of irritating. I'm thinking that I'm gonna end up going into a different, using a different stream, multi-streaming lab or multi streaming platform, because if any of you are using Streamlabs, comment below what you're using, because this ain't it. This ain't it. I hate it. I literally hate it. Anyway, hate isn't a good word, but anyway, I'm gonna play where we left off. If you
Hey,
want
bro,
to
I don't
watch,
want
you can
nothing.
go to the
I just want to
previous
tell you I'm
stream.
proud of you and I love you, boy. Keep doing it. Boom. How often do we do that? Or do we even get those calls?
Yeah.
Right? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, that's my press as a man to get to the space and place to where when I'm hitting, hey, bro, I'm proud of you. I see you. I see you as a father. I see you with the youngin. I see you with your wife, boy. Keep up the great work. Boom. Because we'll look at that as something small, but you never know what that call does for that person, whatever stage and phase they may be in their life.
Yeah.
Sometimes that call can save a life.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that call can make a cat hang in there with his wife. Sometimes that call can make him go back and apologize to their child when they was out of pocket. Like, my mom is usually around when I have interactions with my children, right? About sports, education, whatever. And like, I was raised old school. Like, my mom, tough as nails. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
And so I'm saying he ain't nothing. And I got on my man recently. I got on my son about something recently that happened. And that night, I got on him early in the day. And that night, my mom hit me up. She said, Ink, make sure you apologize. Immediately, that let me know you was out of pocket, Ink.
Mhm.
But when I called my son down, apologized to him, it shifted something in my son. Like, visibly, I saw it shift something in my 12-year-old son. But also, I just gave him permission that when he's out of pocket to apologize to another.
They call him
Right?
weak.
I
Soon as he
get it. You know what I'm
apologized, they
saying?
call him weak.
Right. Weak, buddy.
Right,
What you doing?
right.
Career ender, right? You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I get the competition. But as a man, I'm like, bro, in a different space and place.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that he can do that, right?
Yeah.
I ain't talking about the sport. The sport is what they like. Them cats ill. They get busy. But just the fact that a man can say, "Hey, bro, I apologize. I was out of pocket." That's a cat growing on a different level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think when you're connected to men, that a level of accountability can give you permission to grow and do that. Yeah.
Man, I like that.
And I can
like
tell
that.
this is a heavy subject because the chat, it's emotional in the
Yeah.
chat right now.
Well, that's because the chat, they remembering when they was 13, 14, 15, they still ain't forgot about that
No
because they didn't get
question.
that
Yep.
apology.
No
Duh,
question.
nope.
No
Yeah, and
question.
they still mad about
That's
that.
real.
It's some people that take their apologies to the grave,
That's real,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
That's
to
real.
the absolute grave.
That's real.
And it's a lot of just things in our family in general that we just, oh man,
That's real.
these conversations, this is, I'm really proud of some of the conversations I'm seeing now. Don't get me wrong, we still got a lot of debauchery going down in our culture, but a lot of them, I've never seen as many men trying to get in therapy,
No doubt.
really trying to learn how to communicate, really trying to get these skills
No question.
down that you're talking about, because these skills wasn't present. You go couple these skills wasn't even an expectation
Right on.
for a man to know how to communicate.
Yeah.
No.
That wasn't an expectation.
Right.
You just gotta know how to go out and really. I mean, even when you look at the figures we seen on television, you know what I'm saying? Like when you look at Good Times,
Mm.
The pops, he
Man,
wasn't
a few words.
that,
Yeah.
that was a man of few words.
And
He was
good, a good man.
he was a provider
Yeah,
and a
yeah,
disciplinary
yeah.
and a man of character.
Yeah.
But he wasn't on no therapy. He
That's a
wasn't.
fact.
But and that was the example
fact.
of the man that really that we all have reverence for in our culture.
Absolutely.
Because at the time that was the best man. And now, I see a lot of us now trying to evolve into now it's like more of the Cliff Huxtable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cliff Huxtable was a more refined version.
And he could do a lot of things. Like man who could do many things.
Yeah, he was the man who could do many things. Great father, great
Yeah.
communicator with
Yeah.
his wife.
He can get busy with the street kids.
Yeah,
you know
get
what I'm
busy
saying?
with the street kids,
Y'all-
right?
Y'all seen that episode?
He had a little edge to
He had
him.
a little
He
edge.
wasn't weak.
Right.
He wasn't weak. So, we have to, as men, we really have to get to that next level,
Absolutely.
that next level of what it is to be a man, which requires more skill. It requires more work. It requires more responsibility we can keep and hold accountable. I said, man, I've been trying to read the Bible for so long, man, and I have not found myself being consistent at all. And it's really been paining me because it's been one of those things I've been saying I'm gonna do for a while, and I just have not been doing it. I remember a couple months back, called like 3 guys I know, Coach Crump included. I'm like, yo, I need a Bible study. Like, who's studying the Bible around here? And I couldn't quite find what I was looking for because I was trying to find people to.
Y'all notice that we need more people who are reading the actual Bible, because there'll be a lot of stuff that I see online that doesn't really pertain to the Word of God, or people put their own context in it. We really need to get back to the Word in relationships and everything. I read my Bible on a daily basis, y'all. It's so much information that comes at you at one time. You got to be able to pray and discern what to read and ask God to give you guidance, but also have that wonderful support system there that can, guide you as well. Pointing you to the scripture. We don't need people pointing us to what they say, but what thus saith the Lord. Okay, let's get back into this.
hold me accountable.
Right on.
And it wasn't until we had Tiffany Montgomery on last episode. And I remember I told her I was going to crack it open. And I was by myself one night and I said, man, you can't keep dodging this. So I literally called up a couple guys I know, and we pretty much put it all together, put all the inner work in Bible study now. But I know that I thrive in environments of accountability.
Absolutely.
Like I thrive in environments when I can have strong men around me. Like, hey, nah, hey, nope. There you go, you got it.
Yeah.
Like I strive, like where you been at?
Yeah.
I really need that. So as I can imagine in marriage is no difference. And big shout out to everybody here in the chat right now. I actually want to get, man, but listen, it's getting late. My brother in here. Shout out to everybody that's still up in the chat right now. All right, we started a little bit late, but we are popping.
DeAndre, you're gonna have to
in the building.
You're gonna have to join me as well. Some of y'all, my old students, when I used to teach at Noxubee County High School, y'all. Shout out to Noxubee County High School Tigers. I'm a Tigerette. And wherever you're tuning in from, thank you for joining. We actually streamed earlier, but had a few technical issues. So just to give context to what I'm showing, you got to go to the first video and watch it as well. Share with all your friends. I really do appreciate the support. This is one of the podcasts that I've been watching called Hardly Initiated. These guys have been talking about relationships, which is what we're going to be talking about on our station here. But thank y'all so much for being so supportive, and tune in for much more. We're going to be having a great discussion ourselves about some of the issues that surrounds, relationship, healthy communication, respect, trust, ideas for dating. Some of the, we're going to get the conversation popping. By the way, you guys can also comment on what you would like to talk about, with Sweet 103 Radio and Podcast. And this is your girl, DJ Yada. We are here, and I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll get into some little music stuff for y'all, because after all, we are a radio station. We do have a podcast. I am going to set up a schedule. I haven't decided yet on what days I would like to, come on here and get the conversation going. But I would like to see a lot of y'all on the conversation. If some of y'all want to start a podcast, do hit me up. You can basically send an email to Sweet 103. I think it's Sweet 103 Radio at befinsolutions.com, or contact us at befinsolutions.com. So you can also send an email over there. But anybody that wants to start a podcast, do get at me. We are, you know, going into a different phase of radio. We're changing up a lot. I want to deal with these spiritual aspects, dealing with empowerment to the minority community. Our goal is aimed at minorities and the community itself, because economics is something that, financial and business. I would like to share ideas on here about relationship and things of that nature. There is it's a lot that we can talk about, but I want to first